back. I've had a quick play around with the design. So all I've used is the paint bucket, and any of these tabs here that have the little triangle in the bottom right hand corner means there's multiple tabs. So if I'm doing a selection, I want to use a lasso, which is a freehand lasso. That's going to do nice straight line selections, and then magnetic's going to find a nice hard edge that we'll be able to go through and select. So any of these will have that. So if it's not visible, it'll be hidden under there. So the direct selection tool, the paint bucket tool's under the gradient tool often. Then double click on the color picker and select what color you want to make a certain item, and then simply apply that wherever it needs to be. If I want to select a color, so I've painted this this wall here, but I've missed out here, I'll just go color picker, and that will change it to whatever I need to do, or the sample eyedropper tool. Now I want to fill in this area, but it's filling in too much, and Photoshop will be able to pick out if there's a pixel missing. You'll have to go through and replace it. So we can see there's a little gap there, and so therefore I'll just use the paintbrush. I'll make it black. I'll make that a lot smaller, so I'm just using the brackets to make it smaller, and I'll close that gap off. So it's a lot easier to do it when you're drawing it rather than when you get to Photoshop. And now I can close that in. With your selections, you want to make them so they're for what that room is at home. So there's another one I need to repair. And so keep your walls generally pretty light, because that's going to keep a lot of the light in the building, and carpets reasonably light as well. But try and keep it so what it is at home. You should have things like lighting, tables and desks, chairs, even having skirting is really good, and the door jamb that runs around it. So we'll try and include all that detail. That would have been good to have books in the bookshelf. The next step is we'll determine this lighting. So what I'm going to do is I'll just fill it. I'll make a selection. So I'll use the magic wand. I'll zoom in. I'll select these three parts. Yeah, it's selected. I'll go to layer. I'll go to solid color. What color do we want the lights to be? Probably want to be somewhere there. I'll select OK. So how I've done that is made the selection first of all. Probably didn't go over very well. I've gone in down to here. I've then gone solid color and applied the color. Now I'm going to go up to layer, and then layer styles, and then I'm going to go outer glow. Okay. Then I can change the size of it so it looks like it's going to glow, and the spread of it, so you can see what's sort of occurring there. I should have had a coloured wall behind it, which would make more sense. And you can play around with these different qualities, but it's going to show it up there pretty well. Might know to compensate that so it's just a bit more visible on the screen. Now I'll go back to my original background layer, and I might paint the ceiling a certain colour. So I'm going to select that. The ceiling should be lighter than the side of the walls. Actually should be so drop a colour in there. Try and find a brown. so therefore you can see it looks like the light is illuminating onto the space, which is what I was after before. And so think about the lighting, how much these objects are going to absorb and reflect the lighting, and where the lighting is going to be able to get cast into. So under here it's going to be really dark, so I'll make that nice and dark. And so then it will show the three-dimensional form, which is what it's really showing in the bookshelf here, bookcase. So light is going to be able to hit those top surfaces, and the very top that we can't see, that's going to be the lightest. The second lightest is probably going to be the inside of here, or even the outline. And then darkest should be where the light's not actually getting to, so these panels. So you do want to have those three different colours cast. The last way I made on my original drawing here is just doing some freehand sort of rendering to show where also the light source is getting through to, and how I've gone through and done that. If we have a look at this, my layers, I've only got the two. Maybe a bit risky. What I might do here is add another layer in between, and I'll use the paintbrush. I'll make the paintbrush pretty big. I'll want it to be black. I want it to be a really low opacity, maybe something around 15 to 20%, and very similar with the flow. And then it's a matter of freehanding where we want that dark area to be. Whoops, jump back out and in. To zoom around the scene, if you hold spacebar, you'll get the hand signal, and then you can sort of freehand and zoom in a little bit better. And I'll just gradually make that a bit darker. And we know there should be a line that runs down here that's getting cast off this ladder, so I'll make that smaller, and you should be able to see that. That's probably a bit too strong, but to make it, whoop, it's a bit poor. And there's definitely going to be a lot of shadowing in the back wall because the light's not going to get there at all. And even here, as well as on the carpet. And if you want to get select it so it's not affecting a certain area, you can make a selection first of all. You just got to make sure you're on the correct layer. So if I select that top roof part, I can then do some rendering and it won't interfere here, so it'll only, you can see it's made a nice sharp line there. So you can make a selection first of all before you do the rendering. Let's undo that. That's pretty much all I've gone through and done to make this scene. So fill it in with the paint bucket tool, add some freehand sort of shadows by using the paintbrush tool, and then have the outer glow effect on the lighting. Thank you.